Hello, this is Marie Todd from Lane's Lemonade. We're located in Dunedin, right on Pinellas Trail, in the historical red boxcar where we serve lemonade and the famous vanilla orange ice cream.
I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing, keep up the hustling. I won't be defined by your dreams, committed to my goals, yeah. Gotta do my own thing.
Hi, welcome to Hustleburg. Thank you for sharing your time with us as we chat with entrepreneurs here in St. Petersburg, Florida. We talk about how they got started, how they built their business, and how they serve our community. I'm Brett Bittner, and I'm the host of Hustleburg, and I started Beyond Your Side Hustle because I found that most entrepreneurs lack the time and expertise to build their own digital marketing strategy and still get results. As an entrepreneur here in St. Pete myself, I love meeting and talking with fellow small business owners about what they do and sharing that conversation with you. Now, you may have noticed a few changes with the podcast lately. One of the biggest is that we're now doing video. So if you're only listening to this episode, whether it's on your favorite podcast player, radiostpete.com, or Sunshine 96.7 FM, please know that this episode and all future episodes are available for you to view on YouTube and beyondyoursidehustle.com. Just visit beyondyoursidehustle.com/YouTube to subscribe or to watch your favorite episode of Hustleburg. If you find anything of value in this episode, I encourage you to subscribe. And if you would, also rate and review the episode as well, because it sends us the right signals to know how the conversations add value for you. Finally, if you're interested in being a guest in an upcoming episode and you own a small business here in St. Pete, let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. So Marie, why are you Dunedin's main squeeze?
Well, we do lemonades here, and it's all from us squeezing fresh fruits. So we have orangeade, limeade, and lemonade, and that's kind of where it came from. It just started as a fun little thing, but we love the tagline, and we put it on everything now.
Now, how are you different from other cold treats that people can find in the St. Pete area? You know, we have a lot of ice cream shops and the like. In fact, our most recent episode was with an ice cream shop in Gulfport. So what sets you apart from a lot of these ways to beat the heat here in Pinellas County?
Well, I think we have a couple of things going for us. One is our unique look, right? We sit in a red boxcar that is a converted train car. So it just makes people smile when they see it. And they automatically, it's kind of one of those like showstoppers. They see it, they stop, and they just know that they want to try something here. It makes them smile, like from the beginning, just seeing it. And then we've tapped into the history of sitting right on Pinellas Trail. So they used to transport, the citrus fruit up and down. So we felt it was very important to tap into that history and be true to that. So that's why we started the lemonades and the orangeades, and then have that signature orange vanilla swirl ice cream, because it can't really be found in many places. And then we do add a little bit of a secret ingredient to our orange ice cream, so it's extremely good. I have people. I actually have one customer that walks like 7 miles every weekend,
Wow.
just to get it. We have many regulars that come just for this.
Now, what was it that inspired you to start a citrus bar in Dunedin on the Pinellas Trail in a red boxcar?
Well, I have to give credit where credit is due. I've only been the owner of Lane's Lemonade for about 6 months now.
Okay.
It was started by Elena, who used to own the coffee shop here in Dunedin. She is very well known in the area, and she comes from a history of people that have been running restaurant businesses, and she's a genius. So I am just carrying on her idea, and I'm hoping that I'm improving on it and making her proud as we carry on here. She's certainly an inspiration. I'm so thrilled to be kind of continuing this concept for her. But her history was just that she's got roots here and was very proud of the citrus background, and that's how it all came about.
Now, what were you doing before you purchased Lane's Lemonade and started to operate it as your own?
So yeah, I was the VP of licensing and sales for the world's largest sleepwear company. I was the person who makes sure that, you know, Batman and Peppa Pig and all of that ends up on kids' pajamas.
Okay.
So I have a background in that for about 15 years.
So who is your ideal fresh squeezed treat customer? Who are we going to see lined up outside the boxcar at Lane's Lemonade?
Oh, it's very interesting, you know, having been here for 6 months and learning who comes and who's a regular. I love the support from the locals. The tourists are super fun, and they're happy, you know, when they come here, and they're all smiles, and they bring their families, but hopefully we do a good job and they come here every day on their vacation. So that's super fun. But when we get the locals that come by, you know, every week and says how happy it makes them that we're here. And it doesn't, I can't give you a demographic per se, because I feel it really varies from very young to old, and they all bring joy. That I will say the people that come here and smile and say that they enjoy our goods that we offer, and, you know, smile at my staff and are kind and warm to them. That's my ideal customer.
Sure. Now, what resources do you have at your disposal that are helping guide you in building on the legacy that you bought into 6 months ago? Are there any books or podcasts, video series, business coach? I've gotten all kinds of answers to this question. So what do you have that's helping guide you?
Well, I still have Elena guiding me. We have stayed friends. So that is very helpful. I also have the support of the History Museum, because we sit right next to the History Museum, and the boxcar itself actually belongs to the History Museum. So they're very supportive, and so that's been a great resource. The Dunedin Merchant Association, wonderful people, and all the vendors all around us. They come over, they share ideas, they fill me in on what's going on in the neighborhood. It's very collaborative environment in town. I was saying to someone today that actually came and visited me from New York, and I said, it's amazing to me how Dunedin is filled with entrepreneurs and people building and creating and just wanting the town to be the best that it could be. So I will say that those have been my resources here.
Now, when someone is there ordering something to drink or to eat, what does their selection from your menu say about them as a person? Do you kind of know, hey, the lemonade drinkers are kind of like this, or the ones who want to get the orange vanilla swirl, they're going to be more like this kind of a person?
Well, since we sit on the trail, we have a lot of health conscious people.
Sure.
So I would say that my biggest, if I were to look at that, it would probably be looking at our lemon freeze.
Okay.
So we have our lemon freeze with dairy. So it's our lemonade with the vanilla ice cream whipped together. Or we have the lemonade that's just like frozen lemonade with ice. And I feel like that's how I can tell if someone is there to be healthy and kind of be on the trail exercising, or if they're there to have a good time and kind of just stroll around the town.
Now, what is one thing that you would like every member of the Hustleburg community to know about operating in the drink industry? You know, you have, it's not something you see often, that you're just focused on drinks unless you're a bar. So what is it for you that you'd like everybody to know what it's like in operating in that kind of niche of your industry?
Right. If I were to just take it a little bit broader, I think I'm almost like a food truck, right? Okay. My space is very limited. I don't have any indoor seating. And yes, we have a very narrow selection of goods. We have pretzels and some other things that we offer. But I will say, when I took over, one of the things that they had a selection of sandwiches, and it was kind of a deli and lemonade stand. Well, there was only 3 sandwiches, and the sandwiches took up 40% of the space in this little cart.
Oh, wow.
And it accounted for 8% of my profits. So the first thing that I did was, I'm a big believer in, it also took a very long time to make them. They had panini presses, and it was very time consuming, and it tied up my staff. So I had to have more staff on hand, and it was crowded. So anyway, long story short, I'm a big believer in KISS, keep it simple, stupid. And I want to have, everything should be out of the window in less than 5 minutes. Everything should be quick. Everything should be fun. Everything should be fresh. Yes. Quality is extremely important to us. And so everything that we offer, whether it'll be, the lemonade or the pretzels, we actually get them from a local vendor here, not a mass produced thing. We boil them and we bake them here on the premise. And so that was important to me. So I replaced the sandwiches with that. And now we're turning, we've cut our closing time with the staff here needing to clean and put things away by an hour. I can operate on 3 employees during busy time instead of 4. I don't have anybody tied up there. And people are happier because they don't have to wait half an hour. Like, we could have a half an hour, 45-minute wait for a Cuban sandwich because we only, the space, right? So we only had 2 panini presses. So it got rid of that, simplified, and I'm very happy to say that that's been working.
Now, what would you say is the most important lesson that you've learned thus far? And when I'm looking at lessons, I'm looking at what some people would describe as a failure, but I'm looking for a takeaway that you've had that you didn't know before taking on everything that's involved with Lane's Lemonade.
I think that it was the sandwich station.
Sure.
It was when I was in the process of buying Lane's and thinking of what I wanted it to be and what I wanted to put my own stamp on it. I always knew that I was going to keep the main business. But I'm from Sweden, so I was telling the history museum, the board, when I was meeting with that, I was like, I'm going to bring Swedish meatballs in. I'm going to have Swedish meatball sandwiches. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. I came in, I worked 1 weekend. And I said to Elena, I was like, so sandwiches or expanding sandwiches is a no. Learning how long things take and the limitations, space limitations, and time, like we were talking about, tying up staff, where to focus your resources. That was a big learning process for me, because I had, a very romantic notion of what it was going to be. And I think one of the best things that I heard was the boxcar used to be, or Lane's used to be open only Friday through Sunday. Now it's open Wednesday through Sunday, but
Okay.
I had thought that my work week was going to be uh, Thursday afternoon to Monday morning, and that would be
Right.
it. And so I said to Elena and her partner or in business, Heather, I said, yes, so that's what I'm thinking. And Heather leans in from doing something else and she goes, oh, that's so cute. God bless. And, and that's exactly what, there is no day off.
Right.
There is no down, like, there's no downtime. There's payroll and there's, ordering and
Mm-hmm.
people being out of the things that you need to order, so you have to drive to another place and then I have to drive to Costco, and then it's never ending. So that's kind of funny. I've learned it's a um 7 days a week business.
No kidding. Now, how are you building your brand to make people aware of what you offer?
Well, I have a phenomenal manager here at
Okay.
Lane's. Her name is Ashlyn Burns, and she runs our social media
Awesome.
and does a phenomenal job. I will say sometimes when I'm out walking, I'm wearing my Lane's t-shirt. I have people going, "Your Instagram is phenomenal." Like
It
I
is
follow it.
terrific.
Oh, you like it too? Thank
Oh,
you. Yeah,
yeah.
that's all Ashlyn. So she's done a tremendous job keeping that very focused. So we do that. We do go business. We do an ad in the local newspaper here with a coupon. So those are the things we use. Those are our tools to get our
Sure.
name out. Then we do something really silly. We have something called Lane's Lemonade Finsta,
Okay.
um, where basically it is mostly me, but sometimes my staff makes me very proud and also will sport our lemonade costume. And we do some just silly stuff to make ourselves laugh. And so we're building that, or building it out on TikTok. And it's more of a brand building. And I think
Absolutely.
yeah, and I think it's because, having worked with the Disney's, Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon of the world for most of my career, they're such excellent storytellers. And
Mm-hmm.
I always love that part of what I was doing, tapping into a brand's DNA, what makes it tick, like what makes it
Right.
fun, like why does someone want to buy it? So that was always important to me. And I want Lane's Lemonade to be something where people get, like we talked about, it makes them happy. Just,
Mm-hmm.
oh, this was fun. And
Right.
so that's kind of what the Lane's Lemonade Finsta is, kind of just an extension of that to continue to build on the brand DNA, so to speak.
Marie, in your wildest dreams, where do you want to take Lane's Lemonade, and what are you doing to get there?
That's a very good question. I mean, in my wildest dreams, we would be in every single supermarket, right? Like
Sure.
bottled. Um, that would be for sure a dream. I think looking maybe to expand the concept past Dunedin, to
Okay.
St. Pete or Safety Harbor, Tampa, in the neighborhood, even to build that up and then slowly but surely maybe get local supermarkets here. Once I get a bottler or co-packer in the hood, that's the I feel we're maybe a year, 2 years away from that. I feel like we really need to hone down the concept.
Sure.
It's mostly there. I feel like bringing in the pretzels now. We've added our lemonade assortment so you can get multiple flavors. We're building on it to become like a more finely tuned concept. And once we're there fully and completely, we'll hopefully start expanding or franchising or whatever we might be doing, but that would be the dream for sure.
How much would you say that you're working in the day-to-day of your business versus on your business to develop and grow toward those goals that you have? You talked about you had the cute idea of working Thursday through Monday, but you realize it's a 7-day job. How much of that time is in the day-to-day and how much of it is developing for growth?
I would say currently the day-to-day is 90%.
Okay.
It's it's definitely I'm on the ground here. You know, I'm working, I'm here every day, working with the staff, and then I'm here the other days doing the other stuff. But it's I think that that's really why honing in on the concept. I like hearing customers' feedback. I like being, you know, the face. And it was the same thing when I was doing licensing for the company. And that's why I insisted on also being in sales, because when I interacted with the buyers at a Target or an Old Navy or a Gap or whatever, they gave me firsthand knowledge about their customers. And then I was able to adapt and fine tune the offering that I was giving them. So I feel like I'm still too new. I really want to be interested. I want to get a full year under my belt. I want to see the, what do we call them? The snowbirds coming and going. And right now we've been in the slow season, right? During the heat of the summer, and see how the year progresses and what stands out over the changes that we've made, what's going to stick, like truly stick, what is like, nah, you know, and then hopefully within a year or two, we'll have that fully figured out, and then, you know, watch out, we're rocking and rolling.
Now, you mentioned earlier you're from Sweden. What brought you to Dunedin of all places?
Oh, yeah. So I've been here half my life now.
Okay.
But I lived in New York, New Jersey area all this time. My fiance actually has a business in Palm Harbor and a business in Pennsylvania. And so when we met, he said, he brought me down to St. Pete. And he said, well, you know, let's check out the area. And I will say in a million years, pictured myself in Florida. Never. No, I'm a fall girl. I like the leaves changing. I like the big knitted sweaters. I like the candles. I like the fireplaces. That's my jam. Sure. But we took a day trip here to Dunedin, and I set foot in Dunedin, and I looked at Tony's, my fiance's name, and I said, I'm going to live here one day. I'm going to live here. And he's like, okay. Didn't fully believe me. And some 4 years later, here we are. So
that's awesome.
It felt at home right away. It felt like a place where I just wanted to live. It's where we want to have family, and, you know, it's wonderful. It's like a little fairy tale town, I think.
Now, when you aren't working, what are some of your favorite things to do in and around town?
Well, I love Honeymoon Island.
Okay.
So we live in Crystal Beach.
Okay.
And so sometimes just after work, I'll just drive to Honeymoon Island and walk on the beach. I can't get enough of that. I grew up by the ocean in Sweden at home, and have truly missed it, being kind of landlocked in New Jersey. So the beach, I love. Me and Tony, we are dive bar people. Okay. I love a good cocktail. Not gonna lie. So exploring the restaurants and seeing the sunsets and doing little tours here and there. And then my daughter goes to school in Orlando, so I'll drive there and see her as often as I can as well.
What are some of your favorite local businesses to support? Feel free to give a shout out to your favorite dive bar.
Oh my God. I hope they don't mind being called a dive bar, but that's kind of how I feel.
Sure.
I love Thirsty Marlin.
Okay.
I love Molly Goodhead. You know, all those places where you don't have to be dressed up and you can just come
Right.
and sit at the bar, and the bartenders there are all so friendly and fun. So that's great. And we love Crown and Bull here. That's not a dive bar, by the way, but like I love their outdoor seating. We will go there a lot. I love Casatina's. So for food and to just hang out there, so much to do here. Fenway for the sunset.
Oh, sure.
I mean, wonderful.
Absolutely
All
gorgeous
great.
there.
Yes, all great.
Marie, where can people find out more about Lane's Lemonades? Connect with you on Instagram, because that Instagram game is phenomenal. What are the websites, social media handles, all of those things, so that people can connect with you? And for those of you who are listening, whether you're listening to the audio only version in your favorite podcast player, or you're listening on one of the replays, don't worry, this will all be available to you at beyondyoursidehustle.com/Lane's Lemonades. It'll be lined out there for you, so you'll be able to click those links. You don't have to, you don't have to pull over and write it down. You don't have to try and do it while you're driving. Just, tell us where we can find out more about you and Lane's Lemonade.
Well, on Instagram, we're on Lane's Lemonade Dunedin. Our website is just Lane's Lemonade. We also have all of our business information up on Google Business. If you Google us there, as well as Yelp, we're available there as well. And then on Facebook, we're also under Lane's Lemonade. We're pretty much everywhere that you can
Everywhere.
search. Yes, yes. Like I said, Ash has done a tremendous job just getting us everywhere in front of as many people as possible.
Awesome. Marie, thank you so much for taking the time to share your
Thank
story
you.
with Lane's Lemonade, with the community of Hustleburg.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great. It was wonderful.
Thank you. Hey, you did it. You've just listened to Hustleburg. Hustleburg is produced by Beyond Your Side Hustle, where we help you craft an awesome strategy for your business and build a community that supports you today and in the future. We help budding entrepreneurs go beyond their side hustle and into the business they're dreaming of. If we provided you with something valuable with this podcast, please take a moment to subscribe, rate, and review on your favorite podcast player, especially you Apple Podcast listeners. This is something that only takes a few seconds that will help us shine the spotlight on all the great businesses St. Pete has to offer and grow our community. Speaking of great businesses here in St. Pete, if you're a small business owner here and you'd like to share the story of your business with the Hustleburg community, please let us know by visiting beyondyoursidehustle.com/podcast guest. Did you know that at Beyond Your Side Hustle, we're helping small business owners reach ideal engagement on any social media platform with a free 3-week training by email? It's available for you at beyondyoursidehustle.com/3 weeks. You can also find a link for it in the show notes. Start right now to learn how you can fix your feed to serve you, start engaging on social the right way, and create a community around you and your business. The opening music in this episode is Defining Your Dreams by my friend Rhymer Educator. I encourage you to check him out on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to great music. Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to sharing with you how we do business in the Burg.